Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Rohan Kumar Singh and we were learning about the historical background of Indian Constitution. So in my previous video I have explained about the historical perspective for the development of the historical background of the Indian Constitution, and in this video we are going to see the next topics which are important. So in this video we are going to cover the Regulating Act of 1773 and the Pitt's India Act of 1784. So before I start my today's video, I would like to tell that I have already came up with a free course on the Indian polity. So the first video has been already uploaded, and if you have not watched the video yet, please do watch that video. It is about the historical perspective, and all the relevant videos will come on a regular basis. Okay, so now we are going to discuss about the Regulating Act of 1773. So the Regulating Act of 1773 was passed by the British Parliament to control the affairs of East India Company in India. I have told in my previous video that after the Battle of Buxar and the signing of Allahabad Treaty in the year 1765, the East India Company got the right to collect the revenue from Bengal, Bihar and Odisha. So they were started collecting revenue from these provinces, and out of their trade they started to gain enormous amount of wealth. The company was getting richer and richer day by day. So this got an alarm in Britain, and now the British government, the British Parliament started controlling the affairs of East India Company in India. Okay. The second point is it laid the foundation of central administration in India. This is also very important, that the Regulating Act of 1773, it laid the foundation of central administration in India. How come this has happened? I will discuss in the next slide. So coming to the first feature of the act, it designated the Governor of Bengal as the Governor General of Bengal. Okay. So during that time there are three important presidencies. The first one is the Presidency of Bengal, the Presidency of Bombay and the Presidency of Madras. And in each of these presidencies there are the governor who looked after the matters of the presidency. Now with the Regulating Act of 1773, the Act provided that the Governor of Bengal now be designated as the Governor General of Bengal. That means the Governor General of Bengal has been given higher authority, higher power as compared to the Governor of Bombay and Madras. And the first such Governor General was this person, Warren Hastings. Warren Hastings was the first Governor General of Bengal. So in various examinations, questions are being framed like who was the first Governor General of Bengal. So the first Governor General of Bengal was Warren Hastings. Okay, moving on. Next important feature is it provided for the establishment of an executive council of 4 members to assist the Governor General. This is very important, that the act provided for the establishment of an executive council. So executive council consists of 4 members. These 4 members assist the Governor General in its decision. Okay. The council had the power to overrule the Governor General's decision by a majority vote. This is very important point, that the executive council, so there are 4 members suppose in the executive council, and the Governor General wants to take a decision, but out of 4 only 1 is in the favor of Governor General and 3 other executive council were not in the favor of the Governor General. So such decision of the Governor General will get overruled. Okay. Next important feature is that the act provided for the establishment of Supreme Court at Calcutta, and a Supreme Court was established in the year 1774 to look after the judicial matters. And in the Supreme Court, there was one Chief Justice and 3 other judges. Next point is, the act prohibited the servants of the company from engaging in any kind of private trade or accepting any presents or bribes from the native. So, the charter was given to the East India Company by the Queen to do the trade in India. Okay, charter was given to the East India Company to do the trade in India. So whatever the trade which was done by the East India Company was receiving the money by the trade, and the profit was shared with the British government, or we can say in Britain, with the British government, the profit earned by the East India Company is shared. Now some of the servants of the East India Company, what they started doing, these servants started a parallel trade. They are engaged in a parallel trade with Indian traders, and the money and the profit which they were receiving from the Indian traders, they are not sharing it with the British government. So this causes a huge loss of revenue for the British government, and that's why the British government in Britain started to control the affairs of East India Company, that the servants are involved in so many maladministration. Okay, next point. It made the governor of Bombay and Madras presidencies subordinate to the Governor General of Bengal. This is what I am trying to discuss in my previous slide, that this laid the foundation of central administration in India. Central administration in India. So the Governor General of Bengal was given the higher authority over the governors of Madras and Bombay. Okay, now the governors of Madras and Bombay were made subordinate to the Governor General of Bengal, because the British government wanted a central administration where there is one superior body, and that superior body is the Governor General of Bengal. It strengthened the control of British government by requiring the Court of Directors to report on its revenue, civil and military affairs. So in another way, to control the affairs of the East India Company, the British government established its control over the Court of Directors of the company. So these Court of Directors are the highest decision making body of the company, and they told the Court of Directors that whatever the revenue, civil and military affairs of yours that is going on in India, now you have to report us. Okay, so this is how the British government established its control over the East India Company. Next topic is the Pitt's India Act of 1784, the very important act. It laid down the system of double government. Now in order to understand the double government is started when the Pitt's India Act provided for the establishment of a 6-member board of control. Now this separate 6-member board of control is responsible for the political and military affairs of the East India Company. So whatever the political and military affairs of the East India Company, it will be looked after by the board of control, and whatever the commercial and administrative affairs of the East India Company, that will be looked after by the Court of Directors of the company. So in a way, the Pitt's India Act separated the functions of the East India Company. Okay, it separated the function of the East India Company. They provided for the establishment of board of control of 6 members, which are responsible to supervise the political and military affairs of the East India Company in India, and rest of the commercial and administrative matters will be overlooked by the Court of Directors. So this is all which I wanted to discuss with regarding to the Regulating Act of 1773 and the Pitt's India Act of 1784. I hope this video will help you, and if this video comes up with some information to you, please do hit the like button and subscribe to my channel in order to get more such awesome videos absolutely free of cost, because I am going to cover entire topic in Indian polity with such videos. Okay, so thank you very much for watching and have an awesome day ahead.